No, that's all right.
Okay, so let's go ahead and go back to the admin side of the website, but using that first tab up there in the top left-hand corner.
Mm-hmm.
And we're really just going to be working under our website tab today. The first thing that I want to talk to you a little bit about is the Media Manager. So it's the fourth submenu down. Perfect. You can go ahead and click on that. That is what we call our in-house file store. So this is just a place where you're going to be storing all of the files, all of the images that you're wanting to display in pages of content or what we call articles. So you'll never be able to copy and paste an image into an article or copy and paste a link. You'll first want to save the image or the document in the Media Manager. Exactly. Right. You can click on those and just kind of click around.
Yeah, I've actually very crude websites I've developed and managed just strictly in HTML or XHTML.
Oh,
so
wow.
I'm familiar with all these folders, and I would go under images. I would create subfolders for like advertiser logos, and then I'd have another one for different types of images. So I understand this.
Oh, perfect. Wonderful. So you're going to get this pretty easily today, because it sounds like this is really just going to be this is probably going to be really easy for you.
I've never done drag and drop, but I've done XHTML.
Awesome. Well, this is definitely something that you're going to be using all the time. And yeah, and then if you wanted to add an item, you would just use the upload button down here at the bottom. Any questions on the Media Manager?
Well, let's see. How do I? Okay, so here's the create a folder, which would open up a folder over here. Up a level. Here's already a few documents. I guess one of those is there's Moolah.
Those are just examples for the slideshow images. The up level means you can actually create new folders for additional organization. Right. So up there at the top where it says create folder, you could say something like internal documents, save it, and then that'll create a subfolder of, you would want to create a subfolder of probably documents for that example, but you could also create subfolders for the images. When you're in the subfolder, when you click up a level, it takes you back to the main images folder or documents folder.
Right. So if I want to create a root level, I would just click on media and then do a create folder, correct?
Exactly.
If I'm clicked on images like I am now and I do create folder, it'll create a subfolder?
Yes, that's exactly right.
Okay. And then to upload, I hit upload and it's going to prompt me to browse?
Yes, to browse your computer files.
To find it, okay.
Yep.
All right, that's
exactly
cool.
Right.
Oh, and the max size is, what is that, 2.5 megs? Or
it's 25. 25.
My over 40 eyes.
It's tiny. It's teeny tiny. Yeah, so I've really never had anybody who's had a problem. That's a pretty large file size. And the Media Manager itself, we haven't found a limit to what it can hold. So you are unlimited within the Media Manager itself.
All right, cool. All right.
Yeah. All right, cool. All right, so the next thing that I want us to do is go ahead and go to your website tab. So scroll over the website tab, yep, and let's go to widgets. Widgets are what allows that's what allows your website to be responsive. So if somebody's looking at your website on a cell phone, you're not losing the ability to use any of those different components that are listed on your website. So we're just going to start at the top and work our way down. Let's go ahead and click on Member Landing My Name Is.
All right, hang on. I'm going to write this down.
Yeah, take some notes.
My name is, just click on it.
That's perfect.
Oh, this is the member landing page. I see. It's over here on the right.
That's exactly right. So when your members log in, they'll be greeted with this customized name tag, and this will pull in data merge material from their profile. We'll look at this page when we get to the social community training, which is going to be the one after today's training. But just to show you, you have this data merge tool that you can use in any editor. So if you highlight one of those fields, so maybe like, for example, highlight contact name.
Do I have to highlight even the pound signs?
There you go. Instead of, you wouldn't type it in. Instead, you're going to come to the bottom of the editor, and there's a little button that says Merge Data.
Right here?
Yep, exactly.
Now,
you can click.
Merge contact names are already being merged, right?
Yeah, if we wanted to replace it with something else, though, just showing you that you could use that merge data. Go ahead and click on the merge data button. And then there's going to be a drop down of all the different options from their profile. You would just use that drop down, and you could choose any of these fields. So if we wanted to replace it, we would just choose something else. You could choose contact name. But anyways, after you've selected what you wanted to, yeah, choose contact name again.
What is it? What contact name versus first and last name? What exactly is contact name? Is it the full name put together?
It is. That's exactly right.
Okay.
And then you can hit merge.
Hit merge. Okay, I kind of like just, contact names are already there.
Yeah, it was already there, but just to show you, that's how we would add something into this area. So it's pretty easy. And yeah, any questions on this name tag?
No.
Awesome. We're going to go ahead and hit save.
If they want to update their own profile, right?
Exactly. That's something that they'll see. We can't click on that from here or change that, but they'll see that little box when they log in, and they can update their profile right from there, right from that little button.
What's this toggle editor?
You can click it. It'll just show you the HTML.
Ooh, you guys actually let us play with the HTML?
We do. Yeah, go ahead and click it. Part of this training is so you can click around. You won't break anything.
Okay. I work in this all the time.
Yep. So you can have a field day in here.
Well, not. I mean, I'm going to trust what you guys have for now, but because when you start adding JavaScript and all that stuff in here, that's when that's beyond my pay grade. All right. So and then if I wanted to put an image, what goes in this black space?
It doesn't, there's not as much black space when we get to the member landing page. It's kind of reflected, it's stretched here. You really just see the lapel of the blazer, and I'll show it to you when we get to that training, which will be our next one.
Save, you said?
Yep, and that's in the top left, right-hand corner. Yep, you can hit save.
Or if I make changes, I'd have to do apply?
So applying will save the changes on the front end, but keep you on this page. So that's helpful if you're toggling between the front end and back end to say like, okay, how is this change reflected? Okay, I want to keep making changes. So it keeps you on this page, but we'll make the changes on the front end. Hitting save will save the changes and also pull you back into that main widgets page.
Gotcha. Okay. So hit save.
Sure. Awesome.
Okay. Homepage.
Homepage main, homepage left, and homepage right. Go ahead and click on that homepage main. If you toggle back to the front of the site for just a second by using your tab at the top.
Tab at the top. Oh, here?
Yep. So what is this strange looking text? That's that's that main paragraph right there. So do you happen to have a paragraph from your existing site that you might be able to pull into this area just so you can play around a little bit and use it as a placeholder?
Yeah, I do.
Why don't you do that? Yeah.
Okay, now this is a very crude site that I created, and it's outdated and crude, but this text here, all this stuff here.
Yep, you could just copy and paste it.
Okay, I don't want that last paragraph.
Fine.
Oh, hang on, I gotta get to my keyboard. Control copy, and then right there. Okay. And just paste over it?
Yep, you can take all that out and just paste over it.
Can I have to delete or Control V?
You can just Control V.
Hey, and it keeps the paragraph breaks?
Yeah, so traditionally I would suggest, well, I just taught you a bad habit. I would not, I'm supposed to technically tell you, you are not supposed to copy and paste in this editor. I am supposed to technically tell you not to do that. You really, if you want to do that, a way around it is you can copy and paste it in like something that'll strip the formatting, because you know there's formatting sometimes behind the scenes in the HTML that could be brought over and start creating some quirks in the system. So
I know that.
So you should copy and paste it into like Notepad, or I use Sublime, Sublime, and that'll strip all the formatting from the text, and then I'll copy and paste it from that into the editor. I probably would say 99% of my clients copy and paste directly into the editors, and you'll start to see some quirks, but I'm going to teach you some tricks to get around those.
That's okay.
Now,
right.
Go ahead and update that. Yeah, go ahead and update that area as well.
What do I want to say? We'll just keep it standard.
Yeah, you can
And
always go back
save.
and change it, but this will just kind of,
Save, or let's do, now if I click apply, okay, item saved, and it's still there for me.
but
And
if you go back to the front end and you refresh your page, it'll be updated.
Hot diggity dog. Okay.
Awesome. So if you go ahead and save this, and I'm going to let you play around with that left column and right column and do the same thing.
And that's underneath the benefits of membership.
Yep.
Where,
underneath.
let's see where that is. Okay, right here, left and right.
That's exactly right.
We can add, below this, we can add additional articles, right?
So you could keep, it's not really technically adding additional articles. You could, you would just continue to add to the editor and it would stack the text, and you could use horizontal lines or these buttons, which I'm going to show you how to create, to separate it out, to make it look like different sections.
Okay, now I do have a benefits of membership. Let's see, is it, yeah, benefits of membership. Like I said, this is a very crude site. Now, it might not take this, let's see if it does. Again, there's not a lot of extraneous code on my pages here. All right. Now, I wonder how it took the HTML here. Look at that. It took the, it did the bullets correctly.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Usually, yes, it sure did. Well, because the bullets that you're using are the same ones that we have in our editor, so that's perfect. That worked out well.
Okay. Now, what about this link? Probably has to be fixed, but anyway, I could check that. Okay.
All right.
So,
and then,
oh wait, join today. That was, bear with me. Okay, that's this button right here.
So that was already in there.
Right.
And that button's not technically going anywhere right now. Do you want to leave it as the join today button, or do you want to change that to say something else?
I mean, we can say join today, become a member today, or.
So go ahead and delete that text out.
Right here, like that?
Yep, just delete out the join today text, and then type. Do what?
Just hit, didn't want to do that.
There's a back button. Do you see it up there in the?
No, let's see. Where is it?
So if you are looking, yep, you're super close, right there. Oh, I wanted you to go ahead and get rid of that whole thing. Go ahead, you're fine. You can delete out that whole button and everything.
Including the blue box?
Yep. I'm going to teach you how to add it back. So go ahead and type become a member today, or whatever you want that to say.
Just where the cursor is?
That's exactly right. You will highlight the text. Now, anytime you create an internal or an external link, so we can, we're going to create an internal link right now because we're going to be linking to your membership application. So go to the bottom of the editor, and there's a button that's called Site Links. Do you see that?
Yep. Click it.
Click on that. It's going to bring up a mini media manager, and you can link to anything that exists inside of MemberClicks from here. So right now we're going to be linking to the membership application, which is a form. So you're going to use the Forms tab along the left-hand side. Choose the membership form.
That'd be new member, right?
Perfect. And then you'll insert this link. Bottom right-hand corner. Yep, you can keep looking around.
Page target.
I like to have it open in a new target, so you could say new window instead of same.
Yeah, it's going to be a target equals A or A blank or something like that. Okay, insight this, and that's it.
That's it. Just hit insert this link. Now, Cried. So the reason it became a button is because heading 6 is applied. Do you see that drop down area up at the top? It says heading 6 next to the font family and font size.
Right.
Yep. So anytime you apply heading 6, and it was already applied, so it ruined my trick, but anytime you apply heading 6, it'll create a button as long as you have the text linked up, whether it's an internal link or an external link.
Okay. Okay. Now, what if I wanted to make this font size a little bit bigger? Just go in here?
Yeah, you can do it that way. You can,
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Try 18. No, it's not going to do anything because it's heading 6. Heading 6, you can't change what's inside of there. You could bold it though. I know you can do that. Yeah. Well, maybe.
Maybe not. Let's,
I thought you could.
Can I apply?
Hit apply.
And then home?
Yeah.
No,
You have to refresh your page.
Oh, yeah.
Now, when you click on,
go ahead. Click it.
When you click on it, because you are an admin, it's going to give you an error message. So if you wanted to test this membership application from here, you'd have to be using an incognito window.
Okay. Now, have they set this up on the right according to that the diagram or the map I gave them or the diagram sheet I gave them?
I think they did. Does it look out of order to you?
I don't know. Let me see if I can find that.
I can change the order of them if you'd like for me to.
Let's see. Website information, website layout. Let's see. Well, yeah, I wanted to sponsor ads up top. So it's sponsor. Sponsor quick. Upcoming.
Hold on. Hang that tight for just a second and I'll update it. So our sponsors and then quick links.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to see how you do that.
You can't do this part.
Oh,
it's not, you don't have access to it. So you've got sponsors, quick links, event calendar, and then you've got upcoming events and announcements. Perfect. So if you go back to your home page and refresh.
Now down here, this Basecamp link, this is kind of our current social media, what you might call a social media, but it's how our board keeps up to, it's our communication tool. It links us with, it lets us link not only with our board, but also the NGHIMA, the state level. So we can see everything that's going on. So I think for now, we're going to have to make that a link to our current Basecamp. Even though it looks like social media, we might be able to set up a board of directors section. But anyway, let's go back.
Yeah, we could set them up a committee, but why don't you go ahead and update that homepage right? So that's done. And you're kind of getting hands-on experience navigating around.
Quick links, upcoming announcements. Okay, cool. Okay.
All right, awesome. I'm going to try that homepage right.
Yeah, homepage right. Okay, I'm not sure what to put there. Let's see. Well, let me ask you this. What we do now is we have, I do a monthly newsletter, and obviously this website's going to be limited to 50 pages, so I can't put a separate page up for every newsletter. So what I do now with this newsletter is I just have an index and a link to to the newsletter, which is in my documents. So that's the way. It's only going to be one page, but no, it'll open up.
Yeah, and well, you could save the newsletter in your media manager and then create like an index of all the different articles in the media manager.
Like this looks like, right?
Yeah, you could do something just like that, but you are not limited to 50 pages. That limitation was just that we would only bring over 50 pages for you when we did your content migration.
Oh, okay.
Yep, the site can hold as many pages as you want it to.
Okay, so that's what we do in newsletters, and then also member spotlights. We do the same thing. I create a page for each one of these every month, and then we link to it, and it opens up the member spotlight. So okay, so we can handle that. It's pretty much the same way, right? Okay. I have this thing this is something I want to keep hammering our membership about. Everyone gets confused about our different levels, and they think because they pay their NGHIMA dues that they're automatically part of NGHIMA, and they're not. Anyway,
Gotcha.
that's could I this image, I'd have to get this into the media manager first, or would I? If
Why
I
don't
wanted
you
to put it on
save
that
it?
right-hand side?
Yeah, why don't you save it in the media manager, and then we'll pull it into that right-hand side together.
Okay.
Is this helpful, by the way, for you to be a little bit more hands-on?
Oh yeah. Now this
Cool.
will not be good for the right-hand side because it's way too wide. So that would not be good. Could that go under because it's could that go under here?
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's get the image and save it in the media manager first.
All right. Let's see. How did I do that? Too much information.
You might just be able to right-click it in your website and hit Save As.
Yeah, could be. I was hoping to. Let's see. Okay. Now let's see. Go back here.
Good job.
All right. Let's move on. I know what to do with that.
Did you? Okay. You don't want to.
I'm not sure where it's saved.
Okay.
And I don't want to spend a lot of time on it. So let's see. But
widgets. Go back to widgets.
Widgets.
So we talked about the member landing. We've talked about the home page. You get the home page left, the home page right. Let's go ahead and jump in.
To add that diagram, I just go back to homepage main, and then click here and hit
you'd place your cursor where you'd want to populate the image. Then you'd click on the image button below the editor. Go ahead and click on that image button. It's below the editor.
Okay. All right. And then put it in there. Okay.
Go ahead and click on that. Yep.
Okay.
And you would choose, go ahead and choose the folder. I just want to show you, I want to show you something else about images after we've put one in. So go ahead and use your drop-down folder where it says media at the top. Perfect. Go to site. Your logo is going to be in there. Go ahead and grab your logo. Just click on it. That's not yours. That's our example. Click on maybe the second or third. Yeah, perfect.
It's right.
And then
there.
use, yeah, and then hit insert this image in the bottom right-hand corner.
Gotcha.
Now, after you've put the image into the article there or the editor, there may be some things you want to change about it. So go ahead and click on the image. Now, at the top of the editor, there's a little tiny tree icon. It's already highlighted. Yep, perfect. If you click on that, then we're going to use our Appearance tab, which is the second tab along the top here. And this is how we can change the appearance of our image. The great thing is if you forget everything we're about to review right now, you've got a little example over there on the right-hand corner that shows you what you're doing. Alignment is how the text and the image aligns with one another. So you could choose left or right. That'll either push the image to the left, push the image to the right, and allow the text to wrap around it.
Looks like the default's left, right?
It's actually, well, it is, but the text isn't wrapping by default. It'll just start at the bottom of the image. Like if we were going to start typing, if we chose left, it'll actually start at the top of the image and wrap all the way around it.
Okay.
Kind of like, I don't know, what makes me think of like a newspaper. If I'm reading the newspaper, you know, the text will wrap around the images. We also have dimensions. So below this area, dimensions is the size of the image. That's measured in pixels. Always constrain proportions. That's the checkbox right below that area. That way you can, you only have to put in the first dimension. The second dimension will auto-populate based on the proportions of the image.
Right. But you don't want to make it too much bigger. That's going to screw up your resolution.
Good. Exactly. It's a good point.
Okay. Vertical space, horizontal borders. Okay.
Yeah, we could do a border. It's just a really simple border, which would be just black, and then you can determine how many pixels of width that you want the border to be. And then vertical and horizontal space.
Yeah, you can also use for your text to move around it, use float left or float right, is what I used to do.
Ah, so I've not used the class. I always just use the alignment. And then the vertical and horizontal space will just create like a space cushion around the image so that the text doesn't back right up to it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, exactly. Also measured in pixels. And then once you kind of determine the appearance of your image, you would just hit update.
Okay, cool.
Pretty easy.
Yeah, that's okay.
And you can delete that out if you want to just take it out of there. And you can get that horizontal. Just hit delete. And you can, if you want to get rid of that line, you can just delete it as well. Just hit backspace.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And then we can hit save. So we're going to start working to our next image, our next widgets, slider images. Go ahead and click on that. This is going to be how you'll add in the different slider images to the front page of your website. These slider images are they are 945 by
2 something, right?
I think I'm making this up. It's in my email. Hold on one second.
No, 945 is right.
Is it 945 by 240?
Or it could be 980 by 245 or something like that.
I can tell you. Hang tight. It is. They all need to be 980 by 245 in bold. I used to have that in my Rolodex. So these images are going to be 980 by 245. Do you have a photo editor that you use to change the size of your images?
Well, I used to have, and I'm going to try to reinstall it because I recently upgraded my laptop and also went to Office 365 in 2016. On the old laptop, I used to have Photoshop. Actually, the whole Adobe suite, but in particular Photoshop. But that was from 2011, so I don't even know if that's going to install. But what I did in the meantime is I just uploaded something called GIMP, G-I-M-P, which will let me change the sizes. Now, the problem I was having with the images I had sent you, did you put those onto the website?
We might still be waiting on that piece. Let me see if where they are at. I might be able to walk you through. I sent you your forms. Let me peek here.
Because when I was adjusting the width to like 980, it was, you know, constrained, and I couldn't get the width to be anywhere close to 245. So that's the problem I was having.
Because they were probably low resolution.
Could be.
You know what? I think that my designer came back to me and told me that.
Well, they were megabyte size. They were from a camera, a good quality, you know, a cell phone. But
I say, let me see here. I'm gonna save image to downloads. So I'm going to share my screen for just a second.
okay.
I like to use, and you can use whatever you'd like, but I like to use Pixlr. It's a free online photo editor.
Pixlr?
And I think it's Pixlr. Zoom out a little bit. You can tell how bad my eyes are by how much I was zoomed in. Okay, and we're going to use our file, and I'm going to open an image, and I just saved the image, one of the images that you sent me. Now this tells me, oh yeah, it's plenty big. It tells me the size at the bottom of the image, and I need this to be 980 by 245. So what I'll do is I'm going to open a new image, and I'm going to force it to be the size that we want it to be, 980 by 245. I'm going to begin by changing the width of my picture. So I'm going to go to image size.
Make that 980.
The width needs to be 980, exactly. Now I can copy and paste my image into my new area, and I have to kind of recenter it.
How are you doing that? Is there a move?
There is a move tool, but I'm just using my my up arrow on my keyboard.
Okay.
So does this kind of look okay to you?
A little bit, go up a little bit more. I wanted to try to show the table. We can, yeah, that's good right there.
Right here.
Kind of chopped off their heads, but yeah.
I can go to File. I'm just going to save this image, and I'm going to say NGHIMA slider 1. Now, anytime you are saving an image, do not have any spaces in the image. That can create quirks in the website as well, so just use underscores or dashes, and I'm just going to hit OK. We're going to save it. Now we can go back to your website. I'm going to go back to your widgets, and at this point, I can go into your slider images. I'm going to delete out the slider images that are in here. I'm placing my cursor at the very top left hand. We don't want to have any spaces, any inner downs. I'm going to use my image button at the bottom. So I'm going to select image. Now that image technically has to be in my media manager in order for me to pull it into the editor. I'm going to go into my slideshow images folder, and there's a button, upload a file into the current folder. So that then I don't have to go into the media manager first. I can just upload it to the media manager right from this pop-up. Choosing our slider image, and I'm going to.
So it put it in the media manager, and now you select it, huh?
Exactly. Okay. And then we're going to insert this image. I can hit apply, so we can go peek at it on the front end, and now we've got our image.
All right.
So let's go ahead. I want to show you when we get ready to add a second image in. I just want to show you what that's going to look like. So I'm going to choose a new image, one of the others that you sent me. And I'm going to download it, File, Save image to download. So I'm going to do the same thing. Did it save? Yeah. We're going back to Pixlr, opening my image. There's the size. Awesome. We're going to open a new image. And we're going to force it to be that 980 by, what did we say, 245.
And where was the file open? Was that where you went? File open, new page?
Yes, sir. That's exactly
Okay.
right. Forcing our size of the image. We've got our white box. Now I need to first make this 980. So I'm going to click on my image again. We're selecting image. I'm going to image size, making this 980. Copying my entire image.
And where was the copy?
I did, I'm on a Mac. I do Command A and then Command C.
Okay, so Control C. All right, let's move this up.
Yep, we're going to use our move tool, and I'm just using the arrows on my keyboard again, and I can hold shift down to make it move faster. How about here?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. We're going to use my file button, save image, and I'm going to call this NGHIMA slider 2. Okay.
No, piece of cake.
Now we'll go back into your website. Now, I want my cursor to literally be backed up directly behind this last image. You can't see it blinking because it is touching this image. So the way that I always can make sure that my cursor is right back to that last image is just to highlight the image and then hit the right key on my keyboard. That tells me, okay, that cursor is right backed up to that last image. We do not want to enter down. We do not want to add spaces. That will mess up the slideshow, and it'll just start twirling and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. So our cursor is right back to the back of our last image, and we're going to do the same process, selecting image, using our folders, uploading our new image, selecting the image to upload, choosing the image to insert, and inserting this image. It looks like they are just sandwiched together, and that's perfect because now when I hit apply, we go back to the front end. We'll see this slideshow through. One other thing that is really important is all of these images have to be the same size. Otherwise, it'll also create some loading issues with the images.
So in other words, 980 by 245, right?
980 by 245, exactly.
Okay.
Awesome. All right. Any questions on that?
No.
Cool. I'm going to get through a couple of these others. Footer info. This is the text all the way at the bottom, so you'll want to go ahead and update that.
Okay.
Right down here.
Okay. I got that.
Okay. Save. I'm going to skip to announcements. I want you to go ahead and update the announcements as well. That's feeding right here.
Okay.
And then the last item that we have, custom login page content lower half and top half. So when your members get ready, ngima.memberclicks.net. When your members get ready to NGH. There we go. When your members get ready to log in, they're going to select member login. And they're brought to this login page. You have the ability to add text above the login section or below the login section.
Oh, good.
And to do that, you would just use the custom page content lower half and custom login page content top half. So top half, for example, I'm just going to type not a member.
The top half of every page, or?
Nope, just the login page. It'll always show up on this page. So I'll show you. A lot of what I see is like not a member, join today. And then they'll highlight join today, use the site links because that allows us to make our internal link, use our forms, choose the new membership application. We'll have it open up in a new page and we're going to insert this link.
Okay.
And apply. So just to show you what this will do.
Now, okay. All right, cool. That join today, you highlighted it, and then was there a link button at the top?
So when I highlighted this join today, just like when you created that button, I came to the bottom of the editor and chose site links. Anytime we want to link to something internal to MemberClicks, we choose the site links button at the bottom. That's going to bring up all of the things that live inside of MemberClicks that we can link to, such as articles, community features, menu items, forms, files. So if we wanted to link to, we don't have any documents in here, but if we wanted to link to a document, we could access it from here. And then we would just choose the item and select insert. Now, at times you may want to link to something external that is not inside of MemberClicks. In order to do that, you'll highlight your text, but instead of coming to the bottom of the editor, you're going to choose this little tiny link up here above the editor.
Gotcha. Yep, that's what I'm used to using. Okay.
Yeah, and then you'll just add in your link. And of course, I always like to open in a new window specifically for external links so that your members can continue to navigate your site. And then we would insert. Now, a couple of other things that I wanted to talk through with you. A lot of the items in our editor, I'm sure you've seen, I mean, they're bolding, italicizing, underlining, strike throughs, alignments. These are all pretty basic. This paragraph, this drop down here, these are formatted fonts that we created to match your site. I would recommend to use these formatted fonts for two big reasons. One, easy consistency in your site. You're not having to guess, oh, what size did I use? What color text did I use? What did I highlight it? Any of that stuff. You're just using the same thing every single time, so it'll always be consistent.
Gotcha.
The second reason I love this is if you got tired of your site, if you guys went through a rebranding, if you just wanted to freshen up the website space, you could send us new colors that you wanted us to use. We'll add those new colors to your website. We'll update everything, and we'll also go ahead and update these headings. When we do that, your entire site, all the headings in your site will automatically update. So you could literally have a new website overnight versus having to come into every page and update. So if you were using font families, font sizes, and custom font colors and highlighting, then you'd have to go into the site and update all of that manually, which would stink.
Okay.
Couple of other items. You already used the horizontal line. We already found the HTML editor. You've used the undo. All of these items through here have to do with tables. Now, traditionally, I would say do not add tables to our website because it, technically I tell my clients, tables are not responsive. If you put a table on your website, everything will look great until you get to the table. Now all of a sudden you're having to scroll. You probably know how to make tables responsive. There are some different things that you can do. I'm not super fluent in all of those different things. There's different classes that you can apply. So if you wanted to use any tables, these buttons through here would allow you to do that.
Okay.
And then there's the different classes that you can set, and I forget exactly which one makes it not responsive. Makes it responsive, but it's tricky, so I usually just tell people not to use tables.
And when you say responsive, what do you mean?
Awesome. So if somebody's on a cell phone on your website, the site is going to end up looking like this. Responsive means that we still have the ability to access any of this information, any of these widgets. Everything's just stacking on top of each other. The widgets allow that.
Gotcha. How'd you get to that cell phone mode?
I just made my screen small.
Oh, okay.
I just shrunk it. We can use our menu. We'll be able to select our menu items. We don't have any right now except for the home menu item. But any menu items that you have, you'll see, and this gives you a preview of how it'll look. Whereas if there was a table in here, what usually ends up happening is you're having to scroll, like everything looks great, and then the table comes up and I'm having to scroll to see everything in the table, if that makes sense.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, awesome. I've only got about 5 more minutes. There's a couple more things that I want us to go through next time, but really what I usually do from this homework is we don't update the homepage because usually the home pages, like content is in different places than where the different paragraphs and stuff are on our site. So I leave that for you guys. So kind of the homework from this training is just to get this homepage looking the way that you want it to.
Okay,
There's a couple things.
Can you show me how to add these the main items up there?
Yeah, I'll show you those really quickly. These here?
Yeah, right here, yeah.
Okay. All right, so in order to do that, I'm gonna move a little bit fast, but you'll have the recording.
Yeah.
Under website, I'm gonna go to articles. Before we can add a menu item, we have to have an article existing that we're gonna link to. To create a new article,
okay.
I'm using my new icon up here, which is the plus sign up here in the top. You'll probably really only be using this plus sign to create new articles, and then you may be tagging articles, moving to trash. You can always view your trash and restore, and then you can you can copy articles as well. But those are going to be the main icons you'll be using. I'm going to add a new article, and I'm going to call this members only just for our example today. The alias auto-populates, just like the form. The alias is what comes after the / to create the URL for this specific article.
Mm-hmm.
I'm adding a header to my article. I'm just going to use heading 1. We've gone through all the different components, so I'm not going to add anything else in here because I think you got the gist of using these different pieces. At this point, I'm going to determine who gets to see this article. So if this is members only, which it is because that's our example, I would untag public and prospect. That means only members can see this article. And I'm going to hit save.
Okay.
Now that the article exists, we can link it to a menu item. So I need to go to website and now menu items. Now this is going to feel a little bit like Groundhog Day because it's like I just did all of this, but this is actually what's making it live on your website, not just exist in the back end. We have 4 different. Go ahead.
I'm just having a hard time reading those things. Oh, quick links. There you go.
So we've got 4 different menus: main menu, social network menu, member menu, quick links. Depending on what you want to update will depend on which of these menus you choose. Up here in the blue bar.
That's the main menu, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Quick links.
Gotcha.
Social network menu are these icons down here at the bottom.
Okay.
And then the member menus on the member landing page. Once again, we'll talk about that on our next training. I'm going to go ahead and select main menu for our example. Same thing, I'm creating a new menu item, so I'm using the plus sign up here that says new.
Wait, where's that? Oh, up there.
In the very top right-hand corner, yep. Now at this point, I have to determine what I'm linking to. The item that you'll be using most commonly and the item that we're using right now is single article. That's what I just did. I just created a single article. You will not ever link or use any of these other items.
Okay.
You could link directly to an external link. You could link directly to your forms instead of putting your form as an internal link on an article. You can just make the menu item go directly to the form when somebody clicks it. I'm going to choose.
But can you put multiple articles under that one menu item?
You couldn't put multiple articles. You can't link multiple articles to one menu item, but you could create an article that would hold all the links to all the articles.
Well, what I've seen on your sites is when you hover over something on the top there, it opens up a sub choice where you can select different things.
Oh, yes, submenus. We can have sub and tertiary menus.
Okay.
So I'll show you how to do that. So first we need to choose what we're linking to. So we're going to link to a single article. We're going to name this. I like to name my menu item the same thing that I named the article that I created. Alias updates. If we wanted this to appear at the top as part of a main menu item, we're going to highlight top. If we wanted to make it a sub menu, we would highlight home or whatever menu item you want to make it a sub menu of. The second level, these are both sub menus. If I wanted to make a tertiary menu, we would just highlight one of the second level menus, and that'll bring it down the next to the third level.
Okay, but the home is the second level?
If I highlighted home, we would be creating a sub menu of home.
Okay. So how do we make those sub menus?
So if I if I highlight home, it'll make this members only a sub menu. I'll show you. So let's go ahead and highlight home because we're going to just create a sub menu. I'm going to choose who gets to see this, and then I need to choose the article that's going to pop up when they click on this members only menu tab. I want the members only article to pop up when they choose the members only menu tab. I'm just going to show you really quickly. When I hit apply, it'll make more sense. Looks like nothing changed, but when I hover over home, see how we just created a sub menu? Members only.
Oh, okay.
If we wanted to, if we were like, no, we really want this to be at the top, we would just highlight top. We would hit apply. Now there it is, part of the main menu.
Oh, so you do it as top. Okay, I got you.
Yes, exactly. I knew seeing that would help. And that's all you have to do. This feels, it's a lot of clicks. It's a lot of click-throughs, and we can play around with it together more on our next call.
So
that, I'm sure you're going to have some questions.
That home is the first menu item on the left there. And members only, we selected top, which also puts it up there on the same level as home, correct?
Exactly.
Okay. So when we go back in there, that members only is going to show up as well, correct? We go to do something else, there'll be a members only, but in the, yeah, I think I got it. I moved it. To go.
Yeah, I moved it away from the home menu, right, and I moved it to being its own menu item.
But when I create a different article, now I go back into that same screen, it's going to show me home, and then also below that members only.
Exactly. It's just like an outline of an article of a paper. It makes me think of my college papers. So we've got home, and then we've got members only.
What are those things under home? Second level?
They're just examples that my designer made for you to kind of help you see how things are. So like we've got second level, tertiary.
Oh, so those, okay. So we had selected home for that, and that went under home. If we had an article we wanted at third level, we would have selected the whatever link under the, we would select a second level item.
Exactly. That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
I think I got it. I'll play with this.
Okay. Awesome.
So you want me to start pulling this in, huh?
Do what?
You want me to start pulling my stuff in?
Just the home page. We're going to do the rest of these for you.
Okay.
So don't worry about adding menu items. We're going to do that part for you. Just get this home page looking spick and span. Some of the stuff you're not going to be able to figure out. That's okay. We ran out a little bit of time, but I wanted you to have some hands-on experience in this today because I feel like it helps this information resonate better because there's a lot of clicks.
What about the partner right in there, the sponsors?
That is, it will, it's a widget, but he did not add it. So I'll let you know when he's added this sponsor widget. It'll be a widget. You'll add the images in just like we did for the slider images. They have to be right back to back. And they have to be 220 by 220. So we'll do some of those as examples together on our next call because I am going to have to run. But does that sound good? I'll send you this recording. All right. Do we have our next time?
Yeah, next Friday. I think it's same time, 2 p.m.
Yes, I love that. Perfect. Okay. Well, I will talk to you then. Let me know if you have any questions between now and then. Okay. Okay.
And you sent me the link to the forms training, right?
Yeah, I've got that on my to-do list.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Have a good weekend. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Okay, got it. Bye-bye.